Hey there, and welcome to the Guitar Tricks channel. My name is Anders, and I'll be your host today. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our lessons in the future. For our lesson this week, we're going to talk about the concept of writing music. Because a lot of people think that you have to be incredibly knowledgeable or some magically talented singer to write, and therefore they never even bother trying. But in this lesson, I'm going to show you that writing on guitar is as simple as anything else we do, and also an effective tool in your learning process. Let me show you how that works. Now, there's no minimum for what constitutes proper writing, quote unquote. If you combine two notes together and have the courage to stand by it, that's writing. Any combination of notes, chords, rhythms that you commit to is writing as well. And by committing, I mean that you look for things you like and then you try to remember it, as if you'd written a full song. Some of the greatest musical creations of our time were incredibly simple, and many of us would have thought it was too simple to declare as our own. But they exist because someone had the courage to say, look what I wrote. So that's the first step, and again, this is not reserved for experts or creative geniuses. Anyone can do it, and anyone who cares about music should be doing it. So an easy place to start is to write a chord progression. Look for something that makes sense to your ears, and also has a cool balance between tension and release. If you just strummed an E chord, for example, for 16 bars, it would be like watching a movie where absolutely nothing happens. So try to throw some tension chords in there. Could be anything, and don't worry too much about theory when you do this. Try to look for something that sounds exciting to you. And just keep trying chords until you find one that you like. Most of them are not going to sound good, but you just keep trying until you find one that you like. And keep that balance in mind between not enough tension and too much. Because at the same time, if you watched a movie where too much bad stuff happened all the time, you'd get frustrated and turn it off. And of course, that's very different from person to person, but that's also what makes writing fun. Then if you want to, you can always use your music theory after the fact and try to figure out why those chords that you found sound the way they do, so that you can become aware of the tools you used and hopefully use them again another time. But it's always important to use your ear over your brain when you do this. So then the next step would be to try writing melodies, using whichever scales and notes you know. If we're in the key of C, grab your major scale, for example, or your classic pentatonic blues scale pattern. And look for things that sound catchy to your ear. As an example of what's not catchy, just run the scale up and down. That's not very exciting in itself. So try and repeat some notes. And look for cool rhythms and phrases. Just mess around until you find something that kind of makes your ears perk up. Sing along with what you're playing as much as possible. And again, the goal is to find something that you choose to remember and have the courage to stand by. You can give it a name if you want. So then the next step is to try a combination of a chord progression and a melody. Once you find the chord progression that you like, try and record it on your phone or anything that can record, and then find a melody that sounds cool over it. Once you have a chord progression and a melody, you could try to come up with a riff for it. And riffs are a bigger topic that you can learn a lot more about in our rock course on Guitar Tricks, but in its simplest form, it's an instrumental part that works as a signature sound within a song. It can be based on single notes, or like a rhythmic approach to fuller chords. Or any combination. This is an area where it's really fun to write on the guitar because there's so much you can do, and the guitar is perfect for playing riffs. So now, if you're wondering what the purpose is of writing all of these progressions, riffs, melodies, and all that, well, if you're in a band of any kind, all this stuff that you come up with can be used as starts for full songs. But even if you never play outside of your practice space, this is by far the best way to expand your vocabulary, incorporate new tools and tricks you learn, and most of all, to be creative and find your own unique voice on your instrument. And that's it for our channel episode this week. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you'll take my advice and go and write something, really anything on your own. Anytime you learn something new, you should write something with it, whether it's a solo, a progression, a riff, or a full song. And if you like this topic, there's a lot more to be learned about it in our rock course on guitar tricks. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more great videos in the future. And as always, feel free to like or share this lesson with your friends. Have fun with it. I'll see you around.